obey.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
Hi, this is Janet Benkovic-Williams. There's nothing like Women of Grace to explain the truth of our faith, Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Okay, this is so hilarious on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're asking you about your weekend plans. And I just threw out there that I'm going to be seeing the opening of the sequel of Mamma Mia. And then Ken was so kind to share that his wife Diane, and they're going to go see it next week. And 3 more text messages just came in saying, we are Mamma Mia fans as well. So there's 5 of us, Jerry. 5. We're all going to go see the movie. How exciting is that? Virtually. Virtually.
Yeah, we'll have some popcorn.
You know what? I do treat do when you go to the movies, do you treat yourself to popcorn?
Usually, yeah.
You do? Yeah. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
butter.
smell of it. Yeah. The smell of pop. I know it's not healthy for you. I know that. But it just, when you walk into the movie theater, it just fills the whole, theater with that popcorn smell. And it just.
Well, you smell it before you even get in. I think they pipe it out. So,
do you think
the
so?
smell catches you before you get in there, yeah.
Through the pipes, you're right. You're probably right. That's a good marketing technique. Let's see what Ellen has to say. And Ellen is in Cleveland, Ohio, listening on The Rock. Hi, Ellen. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Oh, hi, Debbie and Jerry. Thanks so much. I listen to your show all the time. We ended up having a sneak preview show, and we saw Mamma Mia last night.
Oh,
I saw it with my friends and my sister, my daughter, and our friends, and because we loved the first movie and of course the musical, and saw it so many times. So here in Cleveland at Crocker Park, they had a sneak, preview. So it was good. So I'm not going to be a spoiler and say anything, but
okay.
Of course the music is wonderful and the scenery is wonderful, and it was great. So.
Oh, good. I can't wait. That's what I fall in love with, Ellen. I just look at the background of all the wonderful shots they take of the water and everything, and I fall in love with that area. And it's supposed to be centered around the Greek Isles. I don't know if they actually shot it there or some neighboring country that's similar. But, go ahead.
I heard they shot it in Croatia. That's what I heard.
Wow.
That it was actually shot in Croatia, but yeah, it is beautiful. And 2 of my sisters were in Greece this summer. They went to Greece. But years ago, my daughter, she's 12, and she was having like her 2nd or 3rd birthday party, and we had watched the video so much. We said, who would you like to come to your party? And she said, Donna. It was Meryl Streep, the show. Yeah. I want to invite Donna.
But Ellen, let's tap into this for just one moment, because you saw the movie, and I know this is kind of transitioning to this movie, but really this can weave into our spirituality, because I've often said it on the show. You listen frequently, so you would understand this, that music really does help us. It calms us down. It gives us. I mean, there's such beauty in wholesome, healthy music, and then when you incorporate, beautiful visual graphics and aesthetics, wow, it's like a little slice of heaven. And I think it can really just calm the soul or just soothe the soul. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's so true. At the time when my little girl was very little and we were watching it so much, my sister had lost her husband in a car accident, so she lived with us. So sometimes you need to get out of the kind of sadness and darkness that you're in and have a little bit of light come in. And actually that movie helped us a lot during that time, because it was a really difficult time. So it was like a little light with all the fun music and the beautiful scenery, and the story was an upbeat story. So I do think that absolutely music, happy music, and God's beautiful creation does absolutely help us in those times that are hard.
It's healing. Yeah, it's healing. You said it's your sister. Can we have? We're so sorry for that would be your brother-in-law. We're so sorry for your loss. Can you give us his first name so we can put him in our prayer book?
Sure. It was years ago. Sure. It was quite a few years ago now. Ed is his name. Yes.
Ed. Okay.
Yeah.
And how's your sister doing?
Thank you. Oh, great. She's doing great right now. She's just doing wonderfully well. So everything is all. It's so much better through the grace of God and prayers and activity and everything,
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good.
Praise God.
Thank God for that, yeah. All right, Ellen,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the call, and enjoy the movie. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate your call from Cleveland. By the way, we're not getting any kickbacks from this either.
Oh no, I know. Is that
Debbie,
hilarious?
I think it's awesome, Debbie. We put something out there that you and I, like to do or something, and Take Two family, they just jump in here and just to make it a conversation. I think it's great. So here's the phone number, 833-288-EWTN. Even if you're not going to see Mamma Mia this weekend, what are you going to do? Share your weekend plans and really especially how you just really want to have the Lord right by your side, the Lord, our Blessed Mother, the saints, and just keep your faith front and center. Jacqueline is next in Overland Park, Kansas, listening to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Jacqueline.
Good morning.
Howdy.
So you asked what we are going to be doing for our weekend. And this kind of came about from a situation similar to yours, Debbie, of being alienated from our children. Mm-hmm. It's been going on for 4 years now. Anyhow, in the pits of the sadness, came to find out about this grassroots organization called Free Hot Soup. And what they do is bring meals to the homeless. We meet in different parks throughout Kansas City on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and provide a hot meal for the homeless. And it's as though God said, your children don't want you right now, but I have these children over here. They're hungry. Go feed them. And so we start out on Friday evening preparing food, and we bring it to the different parks where other people will serve them. And the faces of these people, they're so gracious. They're so thankful that somebody recognizes them and gives them something to eat.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
First thing that comes to my mind, Jacqueline and Debbie, and I'm sure it probably, both of you, Jacqueline, you especially thought of this well before I did. For these blessed, beautiful souls with great worth and dignity, there is no weekend. Every day is probably like the same. Every day is the same, and every day includes, am I going to eat today? Am I going to have clothing today? Am I going to be cold? Am I going to be hot? Am I going to have somebody to say hello to me today? Am I just going to sit here all alone today? And so I think this is so very, very beautiful. I mean, this is the church. You are being the church. You're being Jesus. You're being Christ in the flesh, the personification of Christ to these people. And so, yeah, Debbie, I just think that I think it's
beautiful.
Yeah, what a great work, Jacqueline. Thank you for taking that on.
Well, I think, he has wrapped us in his mantle of love, because this has been so amazingly painful that our children that were raised in the church and, they've made some horrible decisions, and they're choosing to abandon us. Oh, my gosh, the first year, it was just, I barely could get out of bed. Mm-hmm. And then year 2, you get out of bed and you start trying to say, okay, God, what you need, what you want from me. If you have no need for me, please just take me. And then here we are in year 4, and he says, you know what? Now you're ready. Now you are ready to be my boots on the ground. And I'll take care of your kids, but I need you to take care of all of these children.
Jacqueline, that's so true. And if you ever want to email me, feel free. Take 2, the number 2 at EWTN.com, and we could continue this conversation off the air. But Jacqueline, I can relate to exactly how you feel because I've been going through it for going on almost 11 years. And I'll tell you one thing that's really gotten me a better outlook on life, and that is to broaden my view of family. And,
Exactly.
Yeah, so we have our children that we raised, we gave birth to, they're in our household. Yes, that's our immediate family, but we have the body of Christ, the bigger family. We're all family. And what you're doing is you are broadening your view, you're expanding your love, you're expanding your heart to incorporate the bigger, broader vision of the body of Christ. And I think that's only going to bring you great benefit. It's going to help your children in the long run. And if our children can't see that they have parents right in front of them that love them and want to be with them, well, then that's their choice. That's their free will. It's unfortunate, but you know what? God's going to make it right somehow, and he's going to make it right here, and he's going to make it right in eternity. And so we just have to keep doing
Absolutely.
we have to keep doing what we know he wants us to do. And Jacqueline, you're doing that. More power to you. God bless you for your strength and your perseverance.
And when you had your show about the alienation, and I sat there and listened and cried. Anyhow, the thing I said to my husband, and I shared it with him, that your show that day, I said, the great thing about this, our prayer life has been so much bigger than it's ever been, and we have a chance to be saints. And now we can be Saint Monica's.
Yep, absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Jacqueline, thank you so much for blessing us with this. And there's no really, when it gets right down to it, and real quickly, one more thing, Jacqueline, we got Jose and Ron and others to get to, but when you do this, so many times people think, well, I don't have the time to volunteer to do things like this, or, I don't know how I'm going to feel, or it's going to be such hard work or such a sacrifice for me. But I know you can speak to this, Jacqueline. Once we take that step and we do that, how often do we hear it, Debbie and Jacqueline, that when you serve the poor, when you serve the marginalized, serve those in need, you get so much more than you give. Is that your experience, Jacqueline?
Oh, my heavens. It is so true. See, I'm a realtor, and I thought, how am I going to do this with my real estate business? And it has just been unfolding so beautifully. And clients have come to me that I was not aware that they were ready to buy or sell their home, which then allows me to utilize some of those funds now to help these other people. And I'm like, God, you are so brilliant. Now you bring me clients, which brings me funds, which I can then now go and do some more good stuff with.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, and that's how God uses you, and you're open to it. So thank God you are open to it. And I just want to thank you again for having the strength to get out of bed. I know how hard it is. I could hear as you were speaking the tears welling up inside of you. I know how hard it is, believe me. But you know what? God bless you for getting out of bed and doing something and expanding the mission, because that's what Christ calls all of us to do. So Jacqueline, you are an awesome woman. You are one of my heroes. Thank you so much. If you ever want to continue the conversation, please email me. We all need each other and to support one another as we're going through this. So thank you so very much for the work you're doing.
God bless you, Jacqueline. Have a beautiful and blessed weekend. Over to Jose in South Bend, Indiana, one of my favorite places. Beautiful little town, home of the Fighting Irish. Hi, Jose. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, and thanks for listening to Redeemer Radio. How are you, Jose?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing well, thanks be to God.
Yes, I guess, to tell Debbie, I'm going to take my wife this weekend to watch Mamma Mia, because she's been kind of like hinting, she knows that it's not the kind of movies that I will go to see to the theater, but because it's her, I'm gonna do the effort.
The things we do for love, right, Jose?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Jose,
and,
now you can go, after listening to the show, now you can go back to your wife and say, you know what, now I'm excited because you're going to see beautiful scenery, great music, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and I know it's a good movie and everything, but it's just like not the kind of movie that I will just run to see to the theater. But
right.
I mean to give her that. First of all, I wanted to, because yesterday I tried to call, but it was at the end of the show. And I guess just one thing that I wanted to share, because you guys were talking about the sharing of meals at home. And one thing that I see with that is the fact that the loss of that family coming together to share meals at home, I think that's, we can translate that that happens at church, that you lose that symbolism of the Eucharist as a coming into communion also. The fact of losing that at home, it also affects our relationship at church. And I thought that was a great show yesterday. And I'm also a recent order deacon for this diocese. I was ordained just about a month ago. And so my plans for the weekend, I guess, on that part too, is also I'm very lucky as far as, literally serving the people of the parish. So I'll be spending probably serving a couple of the masses on Sundays, on this Sunday. And I think tomorrow we have a wedding that we're invited to.
Wow.
So that will be
beautiful.
My weekend.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you do for the church. That is beautiful. When you were talking about the domestic church, it's so interesting how we, in our families, we have this awesome opportunity to create such great spiritual routines and practices that will last a lifetime and last for eternity, actually. And it's unfortunate sometimes when we almost use the family situation as just how do you say this? It's just a time that we have for everybody to grow up and get out of the house and move on. And, you get more material things and stuff like that, when really it's a great opportunity each time. It's a training ground for holiness. And it sounds like you wanted to tap into that from yesterday's show, Jose. And we agree. Yesterday's show was huge, and it really helped all of us to remember that our family, it's the opportunities we have right within our four walls of our home are very, very important, and we should make sure we jump on those every chance we get. So I think that's what you were saying, Jose, and just wanted to tail on to that as well. What do you think? Anything else?
Yeah, no. I just I think it's everything at home, I think, affects or translates also into your church life. Mm-hmm. When things are not good at home and when things are lacking, it also, affects our, because I think it all goes together. And so and you guys talking about, working on Sundays, I remember, so how do you guard, or how you keep Sunday, the Sabbath? I remember a while ago I used to have a job where it was, installing internet and TV and all this system, for entertainment systems. And it always struck me. It was only a couple of Sundays that I had to work, because it was one of those things that everybody take turns, and I had to work. But it was always felt really weird, because it seems like the week never had an end. Like if it was just a continuous thing, it became such a cycle, and it didn't have your week never end, and so you never start a new week, and but it was always interesting to me the fact that, especially in some places or most places, they actually compensate you more for working on Sundays.
Right.
It always struck me. Mm-hmm. It struck me on how if we don't see the hand of the evil working in there to try to, separate you from being thankful and, grateful to God one day of the week at least, I don't know what else can we see, I guess, but yeah, no, it has always been a very important thing to me to Sunday is it's God's day, but it's, to spend it with family. And usually on my family, I'm part of a big family, and usually on Sundays it's a gathering, time just to share a meal and stuff, but just to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jose, we hope that you do have a blessed weekend. Thanks so much for calling and sharing what you did on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Give us a call again sometime. Always love hearing from you. Want to just mention real quickly, Catholic News Agency, the only fast, reliable, and free Catholic news source that brings blogs, stories, opinions, and more to your fingertips. So if you want the news, and it's available just about anywhere in the world, millions of outlets, but if you want it from a Catholic perspective, visit CatholicNewsAgency.com, and you will get the straight scoop right there. Okay. Okay, Josephine, hang on. We'll get to you right after Ron. Ron is in Los Angeles, listening on Sirius XM 130. Ron, we've been praying for you, brother. Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Ron.
I'm here. Do you have me?
You are still there. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
And I know you meant that in more ways than one.
Yeah, I'm definitely here in more ways than one, for sure. For those that may not be familiar with what I've been up against recently, my mom became critically ill, and on Tuesday morning, she passed. She was called home. Mm-hmm. So my weekend to start with is dealing with all the preparations and things that I've got to deal with now, and keep putting that foot forward. Mm-hmm. Look up friends and family and get in touch, kind of remember what this life's about.
Well, we've been praying for Diana, Ron. Please know that. We mentioned it right after her passing, and our hearts are with you. And I know you're taking care of your dad, and you've got family coming into town, so many arrangements to be made. And, please tap into that prayer support that you hopefully are feeling right now, because that comes from your Take Two family. You know, we're with you in this. It's got to be a tough position you're in right now, but you're not alone. So you need to remember that, please.
Yeah, I do, and I want to thank everybody for all the prayers, for all the circumstances, including the most recent. So, each day goes by, I have my moments, and then I get overwhelmed, and I want to crawl underneath the rock. Mm-hmm. But I know that I have to keep on going for myself and my father and taking care of what needs to be done. And I know that at some point I'll probably meet up with her in the near future, like everybody else would for each other. But trying to be grateful for the life that I got to share with her. Yeah. And the number of people that she interacted with and had affected had been pretty strong out there. And she was a strong Catholic, and she got involved with the charismatic movement 40-some-odd years ago. Worked with the Catholic Chancery downtown and was assisting many people in regards to conferences and Eucharistic ministry and other things that were all related to the religious education. But she had many people at the office who relied on her, was welcoming to her, and I was so grateful and surprised for the number of people who had learned and reached out and said, whatever you need, let us know. And a lot of them, I could feel the genuine, care that was there for that.
Well, and Ron, we've known each other for a long time, going way, way back to when I hosted Catholic Answers Live, and you are fulfilling one of the commandments in spades, really, and that is honor your father and your mother. You've been taking care of both of them. Now you're burying your mom. You have our condolences. You're still taking care of your dad. There's no way, brother, that you're not going to have a beautiful and great reward awaiting you, and that, like you said, that glorious reunification with your mom, God willing, in eternity, and with your father when he goes. So our prayers are with you. Keep us posted. I'm not too far away from you, and we'll be happy to come to the services and the funeral if my schedule permits. So, Ron, thank you so much. Getting near the end of the program, but we'll be talking off the air. Josephine in Baton Rouge, listening on Catholic Community Radio. We have about 90 seconds, Josephine, but we wanted to get you in to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Welcome.
Thank you. I'll preface by saying that EWTN is really important in my life. I listen to it. I have received very much spiritual guidance and information. Just wonderful. Thank you. But I had a concern today about the recommendation of the movie Mamma Mia. And it goes back to the main dilemma of the first movie, the young lady who's wanted to discover the true paternity of her father, who could have been any one of three men with whom her mother was intimate at a very short period of time. And another theme, one of the main characters, homosexual, he found a partner in the movie, and that was seen as a joyful thing, and, supportive of his need. And the priest in the movie was seen as a bumbling kind of jolly fellow who accepted things as they were going along without putting any moral compass to anything. How do we reconcile what they were doing with the themes of our Catholic values? Right. The movie was beautiful. The scenery, the music, everything was superlative, and I love theater. But I had questions about what do I tell my teenage grandchildren who like to go to the movies with me.
Right.
And if it's recommended on EWTN.
No. Well, first of all, Josephine, let me just clarify something. I was not recommending. Jerry asked me what I was doing this weekend, and I'm very, very open and transparent, and I plan on seeing the movie with my husband. I agree with you 100%. See, for me, I get lost in the scenery and the music, not the storyline. So this is in no way a recommendation by EWTN or any of us to go see the movie. I was just simply responding to Jerry's question. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Unfortunately, Josephine, even the most innocent things as cartoons and the Disney shows and Disney movies all have agendas attached to them. And it's very unfortunate. I think also, too, it gives us an opportunity to have some strong catechesis with those that we love around us to really educate people on what this agenda is and expose it so that we can be aware that there is this underlying agenda that is not beneficial for us spiritually. And you were going to mention Stephen.
Well, I was going to mention Stephen Gradanis, who is a deacon in the Catholic Church, has a website, decentfilms.com. I don't believe he's reviewed this yet, but we encourage people, before you go, check it out, decentfilms.com. And the usccb.org, the U.S. Bishops Conference, has a movie review page on their site as well. So always make sure that you're going to see something that you can is consistent with your faith. Until Monday, have a beautiful and blessed weekend.